play 2 games out of 3 games. We won two out of the 2 games that we played. So I haven't been playing soccer really over a month, going out really and playing. So I'm tired, my friend. I just want a haircut. But this guy is one of those unique cases where somebody with number 2 here very low. When you get some tan on your head, guys, if you see me, this is my partner. Right now, I'm doing a haircut in prison somewhere in the United States. I believe that I am innocent, that I have done 10 years in prison, that I don't deserve to do. I have done everything legal that I could do within my power and my knowledge to get out of a hell called prison in this part of the world. And it's impossible. All the things that happen, the mails are stopped, the mails take too long, there's a delivery time, they cannot make photocopies of your legal material, that send it to court only, certain documents. They cannot make copies of evidence even though you allowed to do that. You're supposed to prepay. They charge that on your history of expenses. So after 10 years, I was supposed to just take the sentence and die in prison. I chose to be a boy. First, I came here to this place. The water was bad, real bad. When you plug the figures on the water will come brown. They got the woman out of this prison because the water was bad. The woman get yeast infection. And so that's what the man, so we don't get yeast infection, but we get all this infection. And the water's still bad. So that's what I did before I came to prison, industrial water business to different companies that I did like in Anheuser-Busch, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all the big brands around Latin America. That's what I used to go on. Talk about bacteria in the water and how to treat it with ultraviolet light without using any chemical, without altering the water for industrial purposes. That's what I did for living. I had a pretty good successful business. One day I wake up in a prison, cutting hair to a knucklehead that is been in prison. He's not in prison because the attorney that is appointed by the state is suspended by the Georgia bar. And that type of guy get 25 life year sentence and more. People is getting betrayed by the legal system that we have. The taxpayers, we believe that we vote for judges and PAs and sheriffs, and these people want to protect us, and they say we put it behind criminals. But in reality, they have more than 40% of the population on probation or some type of slavery to the legal system, and this one of every third American is on probation also, or has to do with the law. Even the president isn't, got a sentence. But of course, he's going crazy. But I'll just Saturday night, let's talk about the real things that matter. You got governors spending money on saying that violence is off the chains, and yeah, but what is they really doing? They're just searching people on the warehouse. They're not learning nothing, just being secluded for what we call a society. But we expect them to go back to society. Well, how are they going to function if we don't really invest on people by any reason, circumstances of life? They lost their food and end up in prison. Not everybody is a criminal. Some of them choose every day to be criminal. I cannot change nobody who doesn't want to change, but I believe we could do many things for prison. Many things. And not just sit and wait for the government to do it, because They go to sleep every day. They spend time with their family. While I'm here in prison, crying about, taking my wounds about the illegal sentence that I got, that I should be with. Well, that was my dream, but life didn't happen my way. I wish it had been like that, but being from a man and a successful business and doing my own life didn't deserve to go to prison. But it's not about deserving to come to prison. What am I want to cry here? The first time I came here in 2010, 2012, I was supposed to go home when they accused me of being a revolutionary or the Hispanic because I was crying. I was asking to get a Spanish TV. While all the prisons already have Spanish TV. And for that, they put me in the whole 58 days for doing all the paperwork, send it to Atlanta, so they had to put the TV on this prison. So I'm a bad sheep because I do the right thing. Again, I changed the water too. They don't complain on that one. The water here, if you leave something for too long on the shower, taking water, it will turn blue. If the chemicals for the swimming pool, they shouldn't be used for consumption because in a swimming pool you just take a shower, you don't drink that water. That's the water that we drink. In this prison, which is better than other prisons that they still have that muddy water, that they have iron bacteria and they have biological flow growth in the pipe, and that's exactly what was happening. So gave them industrial treatment here, and they continue doing that. But that did not help me. When I was supposed to get some credit to go home, they made the excuse that I had been a revolutionary asking for a TV when they've been offered like 4 or 5 years before and they didn't get it, and because people didn't fill out the paperwork. That's basically what happened. So a guy from not supposed to speak good English, my English is not very good looking. I am not afraid to write it to anybody. If I don't know English, I got somebody that knows English better, I will write it for me and correct it. If it's not, well, we'll cry about it and we send it with a wrong mistake to court. But we're not going to just cry about it, we're going to do something about it. That's what I've always been since I was a teenager. I was a president of my high school prom night, and I was the first one to make a book, what do you call it, the annuary. Oh, that's cool. They didn't have it before, and they've been like for 20 years in high school. They didn't have a annual book, and I did it. Not because we have money, because we could do it. I believe in dreams that could happen. I think with my eyes open, so things will happen. Not everything happens because I'm still in prison, but at least I have the. I try. Not everything works. Today we play soccer, and guess what happened? Out of the 3 games we won 2. Not because we were the best. I am 57, and what's going wrong with the guy? I got a guy here that is quiet right now, but today he gave me one of those heart attacks. I gave him a charge of his bigger investigation. When I come back, he says that I'm on fire with the legal investigation. AI got his brain working so fast that AI can do everything, but AI can also get us in trouble. If you don't know what you're doing, don't feed the wrong information to AI for your benefit, because it does remember that you give them the wrong information. Correct it. It is incredible. Hey, it's Saturday night. I just want to talk to people. I'm happy that I could communicate with the world and give you the positive thoughts from what happened in this part of the world. Most people hear about people in prison is blood, killing themselves, abuse of drugs. And yeah, that happens in all parts of everywhere in the world. This is not unique. So the question is, what are we thinking to do something different? We cannot continue doing these things, just very hurting people. I have been repeating it. Put your head down, my friend, so I can put your head. And I'm not reading your comments. I'm gonna watch this video later. So right now it's 10 minutes. I'm gonna make another video and continue in a little bit while back on this haircut. This guy's ugly and look, he didn't get the face, he get the back of his mother because he was so ugly that he didn't want to breastfeed him. You have to see his teeth. He's so ugly, but he's a good friend. I'm just kidding, guys.